These economic theories. Absolute advantage. Definition: absolute advantage refers to the uncontested superiority of a country or business in producing a particular good or service more efficiently than another competing entity. Focus: it looks at the efficiency of producing a single product. Key idea: produce goods and services at a lower cost by using fewer inputs during production compared to competitors. Factors contributing to absolute advantage include lower labor costs, access to abundant natural resources, and a larger pool of available capital. Example: if Italy can produce high-quality sports cars faster and more profitably than Japan, Italy has an absolute advantage in the automobile industry. Decision making: countries should avoid producing goods with little demand and focus on areas where they excel. Adam Smith, he laid the groundwork for this concept, emphasizing specialization and trade. Comparative advantage. Definition: comparative advantage considers opportunity cost when choosing between different goods for production diversification. Focus: it looks at the trade-offs involved in producing multiple types of goods with limited resources. Key idea: specialize in goods you can produce efficiently and trade with others for goods you can't produce as well. David Ricardo, he expanded on Smith's ideas, suggesting that countries benefit from trade even when they have absolute advantage in producing everything. Example: if India has a comparative advantage in textiles and Japan in electronics, they can trade to mutual benefit. Decision making: optimize resource allocation based on relative efficiency in production. Trade benefits: comparative advantage allows countries to gain from specialization and exchange. Heckscher-Ohlin Theory. Definition: developed by economists Heckscher-Ohlin and Eli Philip Heckscher. Focus: explains patterns of international trade based on factor endowments, capital, and labor. Prediction: capital-abundant countries export capital-intensive goods, while labor-abundant countries export labor-intensive goods. Capital versus labor. It's not the absolute amount of capital but the capital per worker that matters. Example: Luxembourg, capital-abundant, exports capital-intensive products, while India, labor-abundant, imports them. Leontief paradox: sometimes actual trade patterns don't align with the theory. In summary, these theories guide countries in making production decisions and understanding trade dynamics. They emphasize efficiency, specialization, and comparative strengths. Let's delve into the World Trade Organization, WTO, in detail, particularly from the perspective of the International Trade Policy Framework. What is the WTO? The World Trade Organization, WTO, is a global intergovernmental organization headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. Its primary purpose is to regulate and facilitate international trade among nations. Governments use the WTO to establish, revise, and enforce rules that govern trade, working in cooperation with the United Nations system. Key functions and roles. Trade facilitation. The WTO aims to ensure that trade flows smoothly and predictably by reducing barriers and uncertainties. Negotiating trade agreements. It provides a framework for negotiations to reduce or eliminate tariffs, quotas, and other trade restrictions. Dispute resolution. The WTO administers independent dispute resolution mechanisms to enforce adherence to trade agreements and resolve disputes. Non-discrimination. The organization prohibits discrimination between trading partners, promoting fair treatment. Environmental and national security exceptions. While promoting trade, the WTO allows exceptions for environmental protection and national security. Global impact. The WTO represents 164 member states, covering over 98% of global trade and GDP. It officially replaced the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, GATT, in 1995. Decision-making occurs through the Ministerial Conference, composed of all member states, and the General Council, representatives from all members. Structure. Secretariat. Over 600 personnel provide administrative, professional, and technical services. Director General, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala currently leads the WTO. Budget. The annual budget is approximately $220 million, contributed by member states based on their trade proportions. In summary, the WTO plays a crucial role in shaping global trade policies, fostering cooperation, and ensuring equitable economic interactions among nations.